Light mech versus light mech, the ideal and the actual. That's what we're going to explore in this Battletech Tactics vlog from the perspective of a lance. Now, ideally, what I try to do is always go one weight class below. That means if I'm piloting medium mech, I really want to take on light mechs or a medium mech itself. And ideally, engage 2-to-1. That might be 2 mechs or my medium mech supported by a tank or for some infantry. 2-to-1, same weight class or below. If I find myself taking my medium mech, that's the ideal. The actual could be, I've got my Shadowhawk and mission tactics dictate, or I've got my Hunchback or my Wolverine, mission tactics dictate, I've got to engage that Marauder. I've got to engage that Warhammer. In that case, it better not be permanent. I don't want to go toe-to-toe because I'm going to lose that game sooner rather than later. But sometimes that happens. And of course, naturally, in that case, I'll try to engage with some other machines to at least bulk up the tonnage or the battle value so that medium mech and a couple of tanks is equal to that heavy mech that I'm fighting. Not that it ever is equal. But when we get to the case of light mech versus light mech, we're moving forward with our lance. Light mech breaks off, your light mech breaks off, and we're going back and forth firing. In many ways, light versus light is not the best use of battle value and time. Time is important. As a light mech, I'm moving fast, I'm staying out of range, and most light mechs, there are a few that break the mold. Most light mechs will mount a medium laser as a primary and maybe a short-range missile pack as a secondary, machine guns, small lasers. Essentially, it's a pop laser versus a pop laser. Now, there are a few, like the Panther, that's going to have that PPC. There's also, is it the Hussar that has the large laser that's very, very fast? Those weapons, while they are significantly more powerful and ones that we find on a medium mech as a primary weapon, it's only one. We don't have redundancy, and it's still a light mech in that I'm going to be staying out of range and moving fast. So if I've got a light machine versus a light machine, barring a lucky roll, and look, I'll take those lucky rolls in Battletech, but ideally I want to get them with a headshot or with another type of heavier or assault mech. Us going back, running around, trading shots for 3, 4, 5, 6 turns, where even if I hit you, yes, you're a light mech, light armor, it's a medium laser, that's not an efficient use of battle value. That is not an efficient use of battle value. I'd rather have that light mech working with the lance to maybe get around and get rear armor or add some additional volume of dice, but able to hang back or push mission goals and engage elsewhere. Light mechs don't necessarily have the alpha to be able to destroy other light mechs. But the actual is sometimes, look, I've got to face light versus light. So in that case, if it is one-on-one, and I don't have some other support vehicles to do it, how do I take that light mech down as opposed to just us firing off 5, 6, 7 rounds? The way to do it is to look and really play the initiative game. And this is twofold here. The initiative game in that I might have to move other pieces first, other units on the board, even if it means putting them in a more defensive position. So this way my opponent is forced to move that light mech first, and then I can ideally get into a good position out of a firing arc, maybe be a little more aggressive to take that shot. It's still only one medium laser. So within that scenario, let's say I'm pushing my lance forward. You're pushing your lance forward. I break off my light mech. It's a Locust because I'm still working on becoming the most feared Locust pilot in the Inner Sphere. And, you break off your Wasp or your Stinger. So in this case, I'm looking and saying, okay, I want to eliminate this light mech sooner rather than later because 1, it'll get rid of that battle value, and 2, it'll lose an initiative point. I'll strip you of an initiative point. Sidebar, pushed up to the Battletech playlist, the importance of initiative. And once you start losing units, and even if you win initiative, now you're losing initiative. Or in the case of without house rules, if I take 5 or 6 or 10 infantry stands, I'll move all those pieces first, or they'll just hang out. You'll move your key Battletech, Battle Mech assets, and then I can move the rest to really, really count and matter. There's a nuance to initiative. But in this case, if I want to take out that light mech, or at least increase my chances, now what I'm looking to do is, with my lance, perhaps I get more defensive. Perhaps for a turn or two, I pull back, or I look for a piece of terrain where I can hang out and hide, where my opponent can't necessarily move around, because I'd rather move those first, have you move your light mech, and save my light mech last. And as a sidebar, again, if I have some infantry, then I'll move my other pieces. Then when it comes time to move my infantry, force you to move your light mech, and I move my light mech last. So light mech versus light mech, initiative win or lose, I want to be the last moving. In that case, what I'm trying to do is cut down, because again, for the most part, I've only got one shot. I'm trying to cut down my ability to modifiers as best as I can. You're going to be moving fast. If I'm moving last and I can approach on an angle where I can get close, cutting down the range, I can walk, cutting down that modifier, but I have to be out of your firing arc. I need to be able to take a free shot, essentially, where you can't take a shot. That is the only way that works. Otherwise, we go back to dancing back and forth and moving around. Also consider the possibility of physical attacks. Now, naturally, of course, we want to get the most attacks possible. But if I look at, say, a medium machine, the primary attacks that I have might be an autocannon and 2 medium lasers. I've got a couple of weapons, even if I don't want to close, I've got more than one shot. The light mech, for the most part, is only going to have one shot. The easiest way to magnify taking out a light mech is to engage in physical attacks with that light mech. But again, initiative is important because I need to be mindful. If I can move up out of your firing arc, out of your punching arc, out of possibly a kicking arc, and I can kick, I can punch, I can make physical attacks, in addition to firing off my primary weapon, that's massive, especially since it switches from the damage chart to the punch chart, 1 in 6 chance for the head, and working that. That is if the ideal, if I have to engage, versus the actual light on light. But again, ideally, I'd like to take my medium and bully your lights. I'd like to support my medium and bully your lights with vehicles, or not chase down your light and kind of engage it with LRM fire or other aspects. But given the dynamic nature of Battletech and the ever-evolving missions, plus tactical mistakes here and there, that's the focus. That's what we're looking to explore.